People use the term principality incorrectly because in English at least, a principality is not an entity, it's not a being, it's a realm governed by a prince. Yeah. So galactic is, in my mind, we're talking about something that's contained within the universe, the known universe. And when I say known universe, I'm not talking about our solar system, I mean the universe that we understand to exist because of astrophysics, space, time, energy, matter, that universe, this one that we're currently inhabiting. And I asked earlier in the conversation we were having earlier, does the kingdom of heaven have locality? And so does the kingdom of heaven exist within this space, time, matter, energy construct? Or does it exist apart from it? And so, and I don't know, Joel and I haven't had this discussion yet. Or Luke and Nate and I. My view is that the universe as we know it, within this universe, this is where the kingdom of heaven is existent. It's within the known universe. I believe that the universe isn't just created for, let's say, particular kinds of beings. I think the universe is created to contain all beings. Let me say this. I don't subscribe to a different universe for spiritual beings and then a universe for material beings. It's contradictory to me in regard to the biblical narrative. I see one unified creation in which all things consist. In fact, this is what the Bible says in 1 Colossians 15, or rather Colossians 1:15, that the seen and the unseen, the invisible and the visible, all things consist in the Son of God. So that's a sort of a unified field theory, biblical unified field theory, in which everything that was created through Christ, through the Son of God, exists within the same boundaries. I do not, so therefore, and this is just my opinions, by the way, I'm just spitfiring here, some of my own thoughts. Therefore, everything in this universe is subject to the same laws of physics and is subject to the laws of physics, which would be universal across the board. This is the reason why I don't like the term supernatural. Now, I'm not opposed to the use of the term supernatural, and sometimes it's almost necessary. But the word supernatural is not a biblical term. It comes from Latin sobrenaturalis, which means above or beyond nature. And I think that something above and beyond nature, outside of God himself, is an unbiblical concept. Now, and what I mean by that is, there's only one being who is outside of time, outside of creation, and that is God. And everything else is bound, is in a synergistic relationship and bound by the laws of nature. That would include human beings in the animal kingdom on earth, and it would include angels, heavenly beings. I don't believe that there's, as I said before, a spiritual realm per se and a physical realm. I think there's, I do believe there are realms. I actually subscribe to what I thought I invented this term, and I come to find out I didn't.
That's a bummer, isn't it?
It is. It really sucks. I shouldn't have told you that. A plurality of worlds. So I come from a perspective that we're all within the same universe. When I say we, I mean angels and men, whatever else is out there. But there are plurality of realms. And I have lots of reasons for saying this. And one of the reasons why I believe this way is because Joel mentioned that you have the term sons of God, and a term that is associated with the term sons of God is princes.
Sorry.
And a prince is the way that these terms appear in the text, it's like someone who's in authority over something, right? Now, we use the term principality, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think In many cases, it comes from the word archon or something like that,
Archon
correct?
exousia,
That's
yep.
right. People use the term principality incorrectly because in English, at least, a principality is not an entity. It's not a being. It's a realm governed by a prince. Yeah. Now, that's maybe a bad translation of the original Greek in these circumstances. I don't know. That's something Joel can speak to. But when we say principality, understand, when we use that terminology, we're talking about a realm governed by a prince. And I think that's actually very accurate. Now, we talked about earlier, I'm going to wrap up in 1 minute. We talked about earlier that Adam was created to be in the family of God as a son. And there's a reason that he was given dominion of the earth, because the sons of God govern. And that's why I think that it's a family affair. It's a royal family. And so if you're going to create a new being, let us create man in our image, this decision that's being deliberated in the council, in divine council. In Genesis, let us create man in our image. I think, number one, I think that statement is made in the aftermath of something that happened. And this is an inflection point. Let's create something new. But this new thing that we're going to create, mankind, we're going to make it part of the family. We're going to make this new creature a part of the family. So I would say that's why we're made in the image of God. That's one of the reasons why we're made in the image of God, because it's a symbol of our membership in the family. But also, we had to be made part of the family in order to govern the earth, because the sons of God govern. And that's why this word princes is associated with the sons of God, because the princes govern in the kingdom. So, one more thought on supernatural. So when I say I don't like the term supernatural, that's not to say that I don't believe in the spiritual. Okay? I make a distinction between what people consider supernatural and spiritual. So spiritual can be a form of existence that is different than embodied matter. Or maybe it's not so different, but we just don't understand it yet. We don't have the capacity to understand what that even means yet. So supernatural, the word supernatural is amorphous, and I feel like it doesn't have any explanatory power, because you have to start from I think a flawed assumption that there are creatures, there are beings that are above or beyond nature. And I would say, yeah, there's one. God.
Yeah, that's good.
Everything else is within created order and abides by the laws of nature. That God, that were established at creation, because God is not the author of chaos, but of order. So those are my thoughts. And so, just few more seconds. So for me, galactic means within the universe as we know it, and not some alternate universe in which spiritual beings dwell or something. No, everything is happening in this universe.